What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
All right. Okay, so on the count of three, I need for everybody to tell me what TV show that was from. And if you get it wrong, it's going to mess up my entire presentation. So don't get it wrong, all right? On the count of three, 1, 2, 3. Yes, The Jeffersons. Love that show. I'm sure you do too, right? And that show and that theme song has been etched into our American fabric. It was a song that was deeply cascading a meaning that economic mobility was now here, that advancing in society was now something that was possible, that everybody could get a piece of the pie. So here's the question that I have now for 2026, and this possibly could be the most important question of today. 50 years later, after the Jeffersons first debuted, are Detroiters, and specifically our Detroit neighborhoods, moving on up? And how we answer that question could be perhaps the most region-defining generational moment and decision that we have to make, because possibly the future of the whole Detroit region is connected to the future of Detroit neighborhoods. My name is Diallo Smith, President and CEO of Life Remodeled. And back in May of 2025, there was a leadership change. And that leadership change happened when our former CEO, Chris Lambert, some of you may know him. He's kind of got that blonde hair thing going on, yellow tips. He's kind of little white from northern Indiana. And then there's me. I'm a East Sider from the east side of Detroit, a little bit more melanin in my skin and a little bit less hair products. But this is what we've learned about great leadership transitions. Great leadership transitions happen when the timing is right and when it places the organization and postures them well to meet the moment with confidence, with clarity, and with courage. I think in Life Remodeled's case, we've had the opportunity to do that well and meet the mark, which brings us back to my original question. Are Detroit neighborhoods moving on up? Life Remodeled's answer is clear. They can, they should, and if we're serious about economic mobility in the Detroit region, they must. Now, for the past 10 years or so, Detroit has experienced tremendous growth. I mean, our population growth is now actually trending up. We've had major investments in different Detroit corridors like this one. I mean, we're standing in and sitting in a brand new Hudson store in Detroit, right? And of course, you just heard the panel before talk about the great investments that Henry Ford Health is going to be making, the $3 billion investment. So things are moving upwards. But there are some statewide statistics that may be holding us down a bit. The Regional Chamber just came out with their State of Talent report and said that of all the states in the United States of America, Michigan ranks 40th in per capita income. We also are 33rd in post-high school attainment, educational attainment. And we have an aging workforce, and it's becoming increasingly more difficult to find new workforce to replace that aging workforce. But here's what I want to present to you. There's the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. But sometimes there are numbers underneath the numbers. There are statistics of untold stories, stories that don't often get verbalized. Matter of fact, I would say they are true Detroit neighborhood stories. Stories of people that I see every day, groups of young adults beaming smiling from ear to ear, holding up framed certificates, taking selfies, and laughing and celebrating. Why? Because they just practiced and tested and passed a rigorous certificate of nursing assistant test. I've also seen kids, when I'm walking into their classroom, they'll come up to me in the after-school programs, they'll say, "Hey, Mr. Obama," and I don't correct them, and so I hope I don't get in trouble for that. But they want to tell me that they've passed and got an A on their math test. And we see stories and hear stories like this all the time at Life Remodeled. So much so that it tells us that Detroiters have all the talent that they need, but many don't have access to the opportunities to thrive. So some quick statistics. We've been able to remodel 5 vacant school buildings and repurpose school buildings in the city of Detroit since 2014. We've had a chance to invest $73 million in Detroit revitalization projects. We've had a chance to clean up 3,000 neighborhood blocks across the city of Detroit. And while all of that is important and all those statistics play out well, here is the end results. We now have a Durfee Innovation Society, an opportunity hub that serves 23,000 Detroiters a year with health access, workforce development, and youth after-school education. At the Durfee Innovation Society, thank you, we've had a chance for 850 people to get new job placements, which aggregated to $16.5 million in new and earned income. And we're so excited about the progress, we're now taking that progress and moving on over to the east side to activate our new campus this year called Anchor Detroit in the 48224 zip code. We're very thankful for all the, thank you. Very thankful for all the supporters, the corporate supporters, the foundation support, individual and otherwise. And we're most importantly grateful for the fact that this state-of-the-art $22 million facility will be able to serve an additional 20,000 Detroiters with advanced workforce development, youth education, a 700-seat performing art theater to activate the arts in that neighborhood, and access to quality health care. Now, with all that said, all that sounds great, buildings are fun. But our secret sauce is that we work with community. We have a chance to seek and work with community members every day that are doing the great work, block club leaders, volunteers who are cleaning up their blocks and keeping it safe, students who are graduating on time and going on to college. And I want to celebrate many of them because I invited them here today, because I wanted to recognize them because they are the heroes that need to be celebrated. So if you are from one of our neighborhoods, why don't you stand on up to be recognized real quick. Show them some Detroit Policy Conference love.